Hey, what's up, classic TV fans? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Addams Family, more specifically about the character of Morticia Addams. Now, if you're a big fan of the show, you will know the amazing Carolyn Jones played Morticia. She essentially set the bar very high for that character and what we imagine her to be. Now, we know the creator of the show, or essentially the creator of the Addams Family in general, Mr. Charles Addams, and he had cartoons showing us what Morticia Addams would look like. Now, previously I made a video, actually two videos, one highlighting Lurch, the character of Lurch, and all the actors who they auditioned to play him. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out right after this one. I also made a video on Uncle Fester and all the possible actors who could have played him. You can watch that video as well. I think you will enjoy it. But in this one, we're going to take a look at Morticia's character and all the women. They had so many women, and I'm going to go through as many as I was able to find. And I'm also going to look at a couple of things that is trying to put names to these women. Now, this was a lot harder than the Lurch and Uncle Fester video because the women were made to look so similar with the hair and makeup. It covered a lot of their features. Even some of the makeup highlighted certain features of the lips and eyes where a lot of them looked very similar. So these are my guesses to who the actresses is. Again, these are my guesses, but I think a lot of them are fairly correct. But as always, I love to hear comments down below. Let's take a look at the women who could have been Morticia Addams. Again, I will say this, my guesses are just my guesses, and I probably will get some of them wrong. I think the goal here is to just show the actresses that audition. So this is actress number 1. Now, what's really interesting about her is that they put her along with John Astin. Now, John Astin played Gomez Addams, and he was the first actor who was basically confirmed for the part. So they thought, okay, the woman that we pick will have to really have good chemistry with him. They have to look good together on screen and so forth. And this is the first actress that I bring to you. You will notice this with all the actresses. They are wearing that signature Morticia black dress. They have the lips are really well defined, and then the black wig, which may look fake or not. Remember, this is just for them to get the rough idea. So the makeup isn't perfect or anything like that. You have to give them that benefit of the doubt. It's just, does the actress look the part? And let me tell you right here, she looks pretty good. She looks like she could be a Morticia. I would say she has a more serious look in her eyes along with her eyebrows. That Carolyn Jones had a different look. She had a softer, she could be imposing at times, but I don't think that was the deal with Morticia. I think this actress does really good things with her eyes. However, it probably isn't perfect for the part, but I think she is doing pretty good here. Now, this seems to be the same actress, and what I would say is, if you look at her, she looks more like an Elvira type character, which, hey, if you were going for that, that would work. And what I mean is there's a more seriousness to her character that I think Carolyn Jones kind of did a better job at doing. It's a little more campy with Carolyn, but in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I think this actress just brought in a little too harshly. With this second actress that auditioned, she's very contrasting to the first one. You can see, in my opinion, she seems more childlike. There's more of an innocence to her eyes, her brows, even her jawline and her lips. I'll give you a little bit of a closer look so you can see her along with John Astin. You can see there's more of a smoother look to her. See, John Astin has this, I don't want to say creepy, but can't be creepy in the eyes. Something that just works, that there's something like off about him that works for the character. Whereas for her, similar, but I think like, I don't know, there's just something with this image that doesn't fit completely. And to me, it is not as harsh as the other actors. Now, what do you think about her and the rest of the actresses that we'll continue with? I'd love to know in the comments below. Moving on to the third actress, she gives another take to the character. Now, what I see with her, she has more of a feminine quality to her that was not found in the woman before. There's almost a more adult look to her, and The wig, of course, needs a little bit of adjustment. I don't really like it as much, but I think that the eyes are really nice. The eyes really speak to me as a Morticia. In fact, she looks a lot like Carolyn Jones, even though that is not Carolyn Jones. But I think it works. But there is a little bit of distance between the characters. Remember, it's not just the look of the actress, it's the tone of voice, the way she delivers her lines, and the chemistry with the actor that they're pairing her with. So they take that all into consideration. It's not just, hey, you just look like the part, it's the whole package. Now, to me, this actress is very, very different from the others. There's something about her face, and I would say more about her mouth. She kind of looks clueless. She kind of looks very facially different. The shape of her face is a lot more chiseled by her cheeks and so forth. There's more of an emaciated look to her, not in a scary way, but compared to the other actresses who had more of a fuller, rounder face. They're trying different shapes. There's a widow's peak here that she has. It seems like that would be more along her hair. But to me, I don't know what it is, but there seems not to be chemistry between them. I know this is just a image. It isn't actual video that we can see the chemistry between them, but there seems to be a disconnect. There is just something missing about her. Again, she's beautiful. Look at her eyes. Essentially, she is great, but I don't know for the part of Morticia. Do you think they made a right choice in passing on this actress? Here's another pose of hers. I think, again, looking at John Astin playing the romantic Gomez type character. You know, the kissing, the lovey-dovey, that was essential to both of these characters, how they were just one force. And I don't know, I think that it's just good to see this because they could have seen the chemistry between them or the lack of chemistry between them. And I don't know if this worked. Your thoughts down below. Looking at this actress, I think she is a stark difference from the others. It's almost like she's comedic, like I'm expecting her to be like a Carol Burnett type actress. And I don't think that's what Morticia Addams is supposed to be. It's almost like she looks like a parody of what Morticia Addams would look like. And again, I don't think that worked for the character, but it is interesting to see that they wanted her for an audition nonetheless. And the last actress, now I was only able to find this image of her, and she has a very pleasant look to her. Eyes and her eyebrows kind of go along in the same realm. I think that the wig needs a little bit of work. Again, I mentioned that before. Now, I thought that she was another actress, or that is basically, I'll show you who I'm talking about on the screen right now. I thought it was her, but they actually do look different. Remember, a lot of these women, they look very, very similar because they're trying to go for a certain type look. But I think when they finally saw Carolyn Jones, they thought, oh my gosh, this is it. This is Morticia. This is the woman that we want. The woman we all love today for playing the part. I mean, look at her. She has a unique look. She does have a larger forehead, but look at those eyes. I think the larger forehead, the big eyes kind of go along with Gomez Addams. There's just something about it. She has kind of smaller, more pursed lips. Her nose is kind of pushed up a little bit. And I don't know. There's just something about her, the way she walks, her chemistry with Astin that is just perfect. And I think that's why they picked her. Now for the fun part, the part where I can guess about all these. Remember, these are my guesses. They could all be wrong, but then you all can make a connection maybe down in the comments below, and then maybe we can solve these mysteries. Because remember, a lot of these auditions, they come in for the part, they don't get it, and they don't even really keep track of it because they're like, we don't want that person, right? So it's kind of up to people like us to kind of deduce who these individuals are. Now, I don't know about you, but this actress to me looks very similar to Joan Huntington. Now, this is what she would look like normally, and I don't know, it doesn't really look like her, but when you add that dark hair to her, I think it looks a lot more like her, but I definitely want to know your thoughts about this. Now, all of these women are pretty, including her, and again, with the hair and the makeup, it was really hard to narrow it down, but I think that this is Eileen O'Neill. Now, I could be wrong, but if you do look at her in this image, I think that it does look a lot like her, especially the angle that she's at. And even this image, now she's smiling, so it does look a lot different. But it's really interesting to see how wardrobe and makeup can completely change a person. Now, the only way I could describe this woman is sultry. And so, who is she? I don't know. My guess is that this is Jan Harrison. Now, with the dark hair, as I mentioned, it does completely change the look of an individual, but when looked at side by side, you can see that this is most likely the person. What do you think? Now, I didn't look at every single actress because, as I mentioned, it's really hard to pair them up together, but it could be the speculation that the others were Deborah Paget, that's this woman right here. Now, we also have this lady, Charlene Holt, a definite beauty and a big game changer in how she looked. And then finally, Patricia Blair. Now, these are the actresses that have been speculated as possibly playing the others, but again, not 100% sure. I would love to see your thoughts down below. Videos like this are meant to be fun, to speculate, and just to wonder about these shows. But you did see the images of the women who auditioned for the part of Morticia. We got Carolyn Jones, and we're so happy for it. Really excited to see all your comments down below. Thank you so much for the support, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you to everyone for their support, especially my Diamond tier patrons. Greg S., Ricky, Sally N., Citizen Kane 359, David D., Kevin K., Vito L., and honorary patron Verbal Volley. If you want to be listed here, make sure to check out the links in the description. Thank you.